Hey guys, how to sell on Amazon without ever buying any stock, any product, without dealing with the issues of having products made overseas and then importing them here to the warehouses and dealing with all those fees and product issues. In today's video, I'm going to go over that. Let's get right to it. All right, so welcome to the channel. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Alex. I sell digital products on Amazon, and I've been doing this for over 4 years. I do multiple six figures, and I've been doing this for over 4 years consistently. So let's get into the proof right away, so you know what I do. If you look on the screen here, you're going to see that yesterday, January 4th, I did $299.89 just on this platform for Amazon digital products. And I'm going to discuss in detail today how you can do this where you don't need to outsource having products, doing all this research on product development and then having products made in China, having the products checked out to see if they're good, having pictures taken, and then spending time to import those into warehouses here, and then incurring fees and if you don't really know if they're going to sell or not. So I started my online career trying to do exactly that, the FBA with Amazon. And I found this method where I don't have to do that. I don't have to buy any products. I don't have to buy any stock and warehouse it. I create digital products that sit on the internet, and they sell consistently like you're seeing on the screen. And this is just a portion of my revenues. This digital products, what we call digital real estate, I've learned to be able to squeeze a lot of different revenue sources from them. Like I said, I do multiple six figures now, and I'm going to show you briefly. I'm going to give you an overview how I do this, how you can do this, how anyone can do this. This is really not that difficult to do because you don't have all of these other issues that I just talked about, which turned me off to the FBA business. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly now what these digital products are and how you create them and how it all works. Like I showed you, it is January 4th here on the screen. I did $299.89 just on this platform. If you look at the bottom right hand corner, you're going to see it's 1/5, January 5th, 6:13 p.m. I'm currently in Bali, Indonesia, so I'm ahead 13 hours. If I click on today's sales so far in the US, that's where I'm based in the Eastern time zone, I've already made $55 and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, you might say that's not a lot of money, but I've been doing this for 4 years. I do sales 24/7. I sell over 233 books every single day, 7 days a week, almost on autopilot. And this is what I'm going to show you now. The digital products are books, right? I'm not a writer. I'm not an author. I don't have a website. I don't have a email list to market to. I'm going to show you exactly what I do, but I do sell on one of the largest platforms on planet Earth, and that's Amazon. Amazon gets over 4.4 billion hits per month. So the traffic is there, the product is there, and the product is not something that you have to create overseas. You create it right from your laptop here. You don't have to worry about any shipping. You don't have to worry about any fees for storing this digital product, and you could squeeze multiple revenue streams. This is just a tiny portion of the revenues. Like I said, I do several six figures on this product, but I've been doing this for a long time. A quick disclaimer before we get into it: just because I sell X amount of books per month, it doesn't mean that you can do the same. In actuality, I don't know your work ethic. You could do you could make no money, you could do the same, or you could even do more. But that is a disclaimer. This is for educational purposes. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's get into Amazon.com, and let's distinguish stock product over digital product. So if I typed in keto up here, and you could see that they are marketing creatine. This is a physical product. So if you wanted to do a product like this or any type of physical product, you have to outsource this out overseas, so you could bring down the manufacturing cost probably and have it shipped over here. And you have to do testing and all, and there's just a lot of testing and sampling, and it becomes very, very expensive. The difference is, if you wanted to get into this type of niche where health, diet, etc., you could have a book written. You could have a book written, let's say, on a ketogenic diet. Uh, and that's what I do. I have a lot of different books on what we call evergreen topics. So, keto diet, dieting, weight loss, this is not going to disappear now. It hasn't disappeared in the last 20 years, and it's not going to disappear in the next 20 years. These are evergreen topics. So this is what I focus on. I do focus, 90% of my business on nonfiction. Nonfiction are books like this, self-development books. But I do publish fiction. I do romance fiction, and believe it or not, fiction is 100 times more profitable than nonfiction. But the only problem is, it's that with fiction, you really have to get into building a brand. You really have to get into building an email list. You have to do all these different things. It's a whole different business model. And I started off with nonfiction, and I find nonfiction is very beginner friendly, very easy. And this is what I'm going to show you right now. So let's get into how much a book costs, right, to have your product developed here in the US, how much it costs, and then we'll get into other examples. All right, so how do you get this? How do you get books done? The easiest way to do it is to hire a ghostwriting company. Some of you may be familiar with this is. A lot of you may not even know this exists. Basically, you're hiring a company to develop a book for you. It's as easy as saying, hey, I want a book written on the keto diet for beginners, and it could be as simple as that. Things that you want to know is how many word counts, what's the word count going to be for the book, and that's going to determine the price. So if you do a quick search on Google for ghostwriting companies, there's going to be a ton of companies here that you could look into. I'm going to show you one that I use regularly. They're called eWriter Solutions, and we'll price out a book so you have an idea of how much a book costs. You could do a word count, let's say for a diet book, your services, ebook creation. I'm going to do this with you live so you see how simple this can be. This is the ebook creation. There's tier 1, tier 2 is their top writers. And here is the word count. So let's say we do a 15,000 word book. It would cost roughly $345. There's going to be types of, some other fees here, like general, how fast you want the book written. Let's take that off. Let's do 15 to 21 days. Let's just take off some of the stuff here. And let's see what the final, let's take that off as well. So about $375 for a 15,000 word book, let's say for a keto diet book. Now, this is very simple. This could be written for you in 3 weeks time, in let's say 30 days, and to upload it to Amazon, it literally takes a couple of hours. So you upload it and the book is for sale within 24 hours. The print version, the print on demand version of the book will be available within 24 to 72 hours, usually 24 to 48 hours. And that book you could put for sale between $13 and $15. Now, I teach a lot of strategies on how to maximize all of these different strategies that I use. For example, I bundle books together and I sell them for about $40. So you're squeezing your return on investment from 3 or 4 books. Now you have a new digital product that sells for $40, $45, $50, depending on the niche that you're in. All right, so that's one form of doing it. Once you have a little bit of more experience in publishing a couple of books, you can hire specific writers. A website that I've been using, I'm going to show you now, that you can hire writers directly without using a ghostwriting company, where they vet the writers. So you could negotiate, you can speak to, you can direct the writer exactly what you want them to do, and that's going to be a little bit less or a lot less depending on the type of writer that you find. Now, there's risk involved because you don't have the experience with these writers, so you might have to go through a few bad apples before you find a set of good writers, but this will save you a lot of money. So I'm going to show you an example of that for a 15,000 word book on books that I'm ordering right now, so you could see the difference. All right, so let me show you a inexpensive way to get books written that I've been using lately. So if you go to this website, guru.com, that you see here on the screen, you could quickly see that transactions here as of January 2nd, 154 for 15,000 words. Below that one, December 29th, 15,000 word count, 154. Below that one, December 24th, 12,000 word count, 154.35 is a pretty standard rate. People that I've been negotiating with having these small, lower word count books written for me. Now I have more. If I scroll down, I have more, and you have an expensive one down here for 15,000 words for 257. Anyway, so this is a website where you're finding specific freelancers to write for you, and when you find a good one, you stick with them and you test people out. This is riskier, but you can see that it's almost 50% discount on what you can pay from ghostwriting companies. I would recommend beginners to start with a ghostwriting company just because they vet the writers. Some of these writers here, they might start a project and they might leave you hanging. That's a possibility. Some of these writers may plagiarize, so you'll need a software to run your books through to make sure that the work that they're submitting to you is plagiarized. I do have a link below on a platform that I use. It's called Grammarly, that I run my books or any documents through to make sure that I capture plagiarism or I edit the books myself. I'll have a link below if you want to grab that. They do have a free trial. So your question next is, well, how much can you make with a $154 book? How much can you make with a $300 book? Let's get into that. Let me show you some of the books, how they perform, and what you can expect with nonfiction and the amount of traffic that exists on the Amazon platform. So let me give you an example of what it's like to sell some keto books, because I've sold many keto books throughout my publishing career. And this is a perfect time, by the way, to publish books in dieting, because it's January and people are looking to fulfill new goals, lose weight, and the self-development niches are very good at the beginning of the year. So that's why I'm using this as an example, because I'm also recommending that diet books are a good strategy now at the beginning of the first quarter of the year. So here we go. So if you look here, these are all keto books that I've published, and you could see this one has made over $9,000. This one has made $1,300, $1,100, $950, $543, $498. So you can see very quickly that I'm able to get my money back on my investment. And if there's something that you're going to see in my channel and throughout the videos, is that what I preach is that publishing, the strategies that I use, the way I model this business, is that it's a return on investment business. And some of you, the accountants in the room might say, well, Alex, all businesses have to account for a return on investment. But what I'm saying to you very specifically, when you get into this business, you want to go into it with that perspective. You want to go into it that every digital asset that you produce, that you have produced for you, every book, you're just looking at it from a perspective of a return on investment. So having that said, you just saw me order books for $153 and change, and look at the return on an investment. I mean, you're going to make it back. You're going to make it back 10 times in time. And this is just one revenue stream. I encourage you to go through my other videos. I do 3 times this amount, 4 times, 5 times this amount in the audio form. And by the way, diet books, keto books, all books sell in audio format as well. And it's very inexpensive to produce. Just to give you an example of that, to have a keto book produced in audio format, you could have it produced for free, where you split the profits with the producer, or you could have a 15,000 work book produced for about $60, and you will make your money back several times over. So anyway, I just wanted to give an example of I'm preaching to you to have these things made, but what kind of return? So these are the kind of returns you can make and more. I have books that have made me $80,000 to $100,000 just one book. Again, remember the disclaimer. With time, I think anybody could do this, but I've had several years of experience doing this, and I've had a lot of success. And it's a very simple model to follow, and anybody could do this. Okay, guys, so let's recap what we've learned in this video. You can sell on Amazon without having a physical product, without having to do FBA, which is a huge thing to set up. By no means is that a small task to do. The concept of digital assets, it's something that I find most people don't know about. And KDP, publishing digital content like I've shown you, is really under the radar for the general public. It's a very good space for beginners to get in, because you already have the traffic with Amazon, and you are going to avoid the risk of having to manufacture products outside the US, and that's a whole different risk parameters to take into account. Now, you can start off with 15,000 word books. Those can be done by a freelancer within 7 days, probably a little bit longer with a ghostwriting company. I would say, I made my recommendations as what you can do. I provided you some references of a company that you can use, but the resources are there. If you look through my channel, I have tons of videos showing you topics that are profitable, evergreen topics that are profitable. I just showed you one for keto. I showed you that I've published many keto books. I've shown you the potential. So this is a great space for beginners to start an online business. I'm going to also provide to you below this video a free ebook that I have on the company that I have, ghostwriting. I publish ghostwriters.com, and it's a free ebook. It's going to show you the process, all of the revenue streams that you can obtain from books, and the process that I use and the strategies that I use and that I employ in my business. So you can go ahead and click the link below and grab that free ebook. If you're not a follower, a subscriber to the channel, and you want content on building your business, go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to build a channel, so go ahead and like the channel. If you like the content, if you found value, please go ahead and smash that like button. All right, guys, stay tuned. I'm going to bring you some valuable content this year. I'll see you in the next one.